and everything went pretty good. Yeah. So let's begin, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutare Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tanamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Tricharini Irvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachati Shatarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Hari Bol. Let's go to page 1 of Bhagavad Gita, the introduction. And you can repeat after me, you know the routine. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance. And my spiritual master opened my eyes. With the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, great. So we'll ask our generous host, Vaishnavi, to take us to the shloka that we're on for today.
16th chapter. We are in the first 1 through 3.
Yeah, we're still there. Okay, so that's great. And what I will do, I'll just go through those 3 verses that are connected together. The translation, I won't bother with the Sanskrit on this one. And then we'll hop on over to the main subject that we're going to discuss today, based on the rest, the balance of the verses. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharat, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Hare Krishna. That's a lot to go through, isn't it, Bruce? 26 qualities. Okay, we'll zip on over into the purport. And if you could just please let us know where we left off last week, or whenever we got together last.
Almost towards the end, it's called Akrodha.
Yeah. Akrodha. Okay, great. So I think that this particular, there's not much said about this, but we can ask somebody to volunteer on this one. Go as far as just before Apaushunam. All right. Any volunteers?
Sanjay,
I can read it.
Yeah, please go, Arjuna.
Okay. Akrodha means to check anger. Even if there is provocation, one should be tolerant. For once one becomes angry, his whole body becomes polluted. Anger is a product of the mode of passion and lust. So one who is transcendentally situated should check himself from anger. apaisunam
No,
means
no, that's it. That's fine. Yeah, we're not going to do that one right now. We'll just stick to this particular trait, akrodha. So everybody knows krodha means anger. Sometimes the word rudra is given, and but krodha is the common one. Kam, krodha, lobh. You know, the three gates to hell. So what happens with anger, as is indicated here very nicely, it just pollutes the entire body. And I'm just thinking about an old script from the age of Kali, and anger personified has a chance to speak. It says his whole body gets polluted. So I think they took it right out. The script writers, the playwrights, took it right out of this presentation from Prabhupada. Provocation. Okay, this little agitation, and some people get so upset, they get so riled up, and this is definitely a problem. Any little thing can create a, cause a volcano or an explosion of sorts, and you can paint this krodha color red, and then everything else starts to malfunction. Everything else breaks down. It's like our bodies, or like the functioning of a car. If one thing gets a little agitated in the operation, then everything else starts to malfunction, and you can, get ready to call the tow truck. So unless if you can fix the problem yourself. So any slight provocation, that's Prabhupada is talking about tolerance. So tolerance is required in order to check krodha. And that's
Maharaj.
Frozen, no?
Yes.
Please come back. Please.
Can you kick him out of the meeting so he can rejoin? Sometimes that's really helpful.
All right, I'll try. Well, no, I cannot kick him out because the Zoom thinks then it is somebody I have to, it's like a blacklisted person.
Yeah, okay.
I cannot do that.
Darn. Oh, it looks like he's removed himself.
we're back again. Yeah. Okay, we're back again.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Haribo.
Okay, great. Nice to see everybody again. Uday is with us. Wow, I'm just seeing everyone again. Guy Gaur and Moksha Leela. Wow, Moksha Leela's with us once again. Haribo and Sankalpa, nice. Wow, what a nice bunch. And of course I see Ottawa, yes. And Alec, it's great to have you on board. And I'm just Charles is with us all the way from Alachua. Thank you so much, Sandamani. Yeah, great. Okay, and so we were just talking about tolerance, how it's such an important quality. Prabhupada was on the plane once, and there were some guys there on the plane. They were a bit rowdy, and Prabhupada's assistant complained to the flight attendant, "Can you get them to tone down?" And so she did. And the guys that were a little bit rowdy, who knows, maybe and then
We cannot hear you, Maharaj.
Hello?
Yeah, it was very choppy. I'm going to see if stopping your video will work. So
block out my internet. Can you use thing in history? Just turn off the camera. Maybe it was done.
Can you turn your way?
We should just join on video, I think. Audio, sorry, not video.
Yes, and I'm wondering if us having our cameras on contributes to the amount of power that Maharaj's phone needs to process.
Well, I don't know. We can turn our cameras off and see, but most of us their cameras are off anyway. So
Yeah, that's true.
Where is Maharaj? Is he in France?
Pune, India.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
Maharaj.
Okay, let's give another shot. Okay, and my video's off, right?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay, great, fantastic. Okay, then let's continue. Just give me a warning as soon as things go off course. Yeah, so Prabhupada was on the plane. I think we might have mentioned this before. And did we catch any of the story?
Some rowdies were
Did
there.
we catch any of the story?
The last word we heard was rowdies.
Rowdies, okay. And Prabhupada's assistant told the flight attendant, can you get them to simmer down? So that person went and the guys got quiet and then they started it up again. And Prabhupada's assistant got really upset. And he was just, it's kind of like boiling, getting angry. And then Prabhupada stopped him. He didn't want him to go any further to try to control the situation. And he said, if we can't be tolerant over these things, then how do we show our saintliness? How do we show our Krishna consciousness? So, we have to bear some pain. Otherwise, what are we accomplishing from our Krishna consciousness? Things can't always go the way you want, isn't it? We just can't be spoiled brats. We just have to accept these inconveniences sometimes and exercise tolerance. It's a great quality to have. I think everybody's had anger issues in the past. And that many things do shut down during that course. Your ability for Buddhi to come through doesn't happen because it's just like a lockdown, it's a shutdown. And so let's try to avoid anger and not be so frivolous and be so, let's say, reactive all the time. Just chill out, that's all we need to do. So anybody have anything they'd like to say about anger? Does anybody want to share or confess some anger issues that you had and you found out it doesn't work? My explosion didn't settle the matter, it made it even worse. Anybody want to share?
I would like to share
You
something.
can just walk into the confessional box and just confess to the priest. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Arjun.
Okay. So lately,
Tell us your quick story.
I've been trying really hard to cope with the fact that I almost passed. The problem is I've been trying really, really hard, but the thing is that it's hard because not everybody has been through this stuff, and the thing is I don't know, I can't even explain it. It's just weird because time really slowed down. That's one thing, and the second thing is people say, "Oh yeah, it's okay, it's a blessing," and I get it. You know, it is a blessing. Krishna gave me another chance. I have no idea why.
I'm not, Arjun, just for a minute. I'm not following you too well. Can you tell us we're just asking you to tell a little story about anger. You know, when
Yeah,
you had exhibited anger and it didn't work out for you.
No, I'm getting at it. Like lately I'm being kind of angry. So like I can't control it too well. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like even though I'm trying, but I can't.
Okay, it was hard for you. Okay, well maybe that's another question I can ask any of you. What do you do when you get angry, or you can see the boiling starting to percolate? You know, what do you do? What can you do? Can you jump in and do a polar bear kind of thing? Jump into a cold, lake water, with ice, break the ice, and what are some methods you could use? How about chanting Hare Krishna?
So Maharaj,
Think that'll help out?
Maharaj, I would
Yes.
just try it. Huh?
Yes, Maharaj, that does help.
Chant a few extra rounds.
Chant a few extra rounds. Okay, sure.
Another thing is
That's
we
great.
can from the situation. Maybe that
I'm
might help.
sorry, could you say that again? I only caught a little bit of it.
Yeah, maybe just walk away from the situation.
Oh, yeah, sure, that's a good one. Yeah, if something has agitated you, it's usually another individual, or it could be an animal, or just frustrated. Your car doesn't work, your computer doesn't work, so you just want to crash it, throw it somewhere. Yeah, walk away. Just walk away, cool down, chill out. Okay, I think, Alex, do you want to?
Yeah, Maharaj, I just want to share a little bit of a situation that happened yesterday at the restaurant Govinda's. So basically, Mandala Prabhu and Mother Sri Devi are away on vacation, or they're not here. And I made the mistake of turning the heat on the hot table before putting water. And when I added water, then it all kind of messed up and broke the table and it started leaking. Anyways, long story short, I made a mistake. But throughout the day, I got really stressed, and then my mind was starting to get a bit angry. I was just like, why would both of them be away at the same time? Like, maybe one away is okay, but then eventually throughout the day, I realized, like, no, like, I made a mistake. I wasn't focused. Like, my mind was distracted. I was thinking about other things when I was doing my duties, and that's why this happened. So I think when we're angry, we can really try to think, what is my part in this? Like, usually anger comes from ego, thinking, oh, the other person did wrong, but oftentimes we had a part in it. Like, what did I do? How could I have improved? What can I learn from this? So anyways, that was
right. You were into the blame game, I guess. That's what it was.
Yeah, but I realized, like, no, I'm the one who made a mistake. That I'm the only one to blame. Like, so.
Well, I'm glad that you processed it. That's really important. You take the time later on, after the fact. That's what happens sometimes. Get angry after the damage is done. After the wall is broken, or the window broke and shattered to millions of pieces, or after you punch someone in the nose. After the fact. Yeah. So it's good to just keep cool as much as possible. Keeping a cool head is something that arises from being in the mode of goodness, and just like I was at I'm attending meetings here, and the group that was in the first session in the morning, when they were conducting the session, they handled it with such care. They were punctual with time. And it was just great. And then the afternoon session, which is always a little more difficult when you've got a group of people there. The meeting wasn't run so efficiently. So it just entered into the mode of ignorance, and things dragged on and on. I was quite frustrated myself, and I didn't get angry, but and I didn't leave the room. But, these things usually arise out of the mode of ignorance and passion, as is expressed here. So if you can set yourself up, set up your day, your life in Sattva Gun, there's less chance of this rajasic quality of anger to flare up. Yeah, so prepare yourself, have everything lined up nicely, and just try to keep a cool head. All right, I guess we can move on. Let's go to the next particular quality, unless if somebody has their hand up. I don't see any hands up.
Uday has his hand.
Uday, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so Maharaj, I was just thinking that, previously I used to get aggravated like on small things, but then I was, when you start chanting, you do get a certain, mode of goodness with you. So you are able to see that, okay, not every problem is for me to solve, or it's not necessary to be angry at everything. So you become very choosy to be what to be angry about, right? But then, like, because I have been letting go of lots of things to be angry about, and I'm just keeping my cool head, I think I'm just losing some abilities, to be, some abilities to just see, like, okay, should I like go into the situation and solve it, or how should I deal with a certain situation which requires anger, or which requires actually some sort of strictness. So yeah, so
Okay.
that is something which I have experienced.
Well, it looks like anger is a particular trait that we all relate to. We got a lot of hands up right now suddenly. So Ananda Shesha, I see you there. Did you want to say something?
Yes.
Thank you, Uday.
Road rage is a very common example of anger in this age of automobiles. The best thing to do is just not get into it, because you are at the risk of being shot at.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a place on the road is where a lot of anger comes out. Yeah, I saw a couple of guys just a few years ago. They came to a stop. There was some agitation prior, and one guy was, it was summertime. The windows were rolled down and everything. Obviously, they were agitated, and they came to a light that was a red light. So they both got out of their individual vehicle. One was in front of the other. Both got out, gave a few slugs at each other, and tried to satisfy their anger. Got back into their cars when the green light was on, and they moved on. But at least they had their little bout. It was so funny. Yeah. Okay, so we've got Manasi Ganga. Do you want to tell us something there?
At my humble obeisances, all glories
Hello.
to God. Hello, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Can you hear
Please
me?
go ahead.
Sometimes
I'm just going to say, Bruce, forget about these obeisances. We do it in the beginning. Okay. Just go right ahead. Go right to let the conversation flow, okay? And okay. You won't have to. We're not thinking you're disrespectful. Just go right to it, okay?
Okay, Maharaj. Sometimes angry thoughts come while chanting. How to avoid these thoughts?
Oh yeah. What you say is really true. Yeah, because we're not focused on the mantra so much. We're thinking about how someone maybe double-crossed me, or someone gave me a hard time the day before, or just agitated about someone, and it builds up inside. How to avoid that? Well, I guess, before you do your japa, get into a prayerful mood. Ask Krishna, please, to help you to execute this mantra meditation with a cool head, with calmness, and there's less chance of things flaring up. But even still, we might get agitated about something. So, as Krishna states in the Gita, it says, wherever the mind wanders, try to grab it and bring it back under the control of the self. So you really have to reach out to Krishna. That's what that's what Krishna is saying to us. Reach out to him, and by giving you strength to be able to take that crazy mind, that monkey mind, and bring it back onto your own control. So it takes a lot of introspection when you're chanting japa, for sure. And just like Alec was saying, that you start to get into blaming everybody else, and you get angry. Just one thing leads to another. So anger all starts with contemplating the objects of the senses, right?
Yes.
Does anybody recall? It was in chapter 2 from Bhagavad Gita. Jayato Vishayam Pumsa. That means you're contemplating on some sense object. You're ego-based. Your thoughts are ego-based, not soul-based. So there's only two ways to be. And when you're ego-based, body-based, then these things will flare up. So I guess just ask Krishna to give you strength. Sanjay, you've got something you want to say on this?
Yes, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, in the Ramayana, Hanumanji, when he was still was light, he burned the whole of Lanka. At that time, were he acting in anger?
Yeah, he was angry. Yeah, in fact, Prabhupada gives some examples of justified anger. Hanuman was upset because of the Lakshmi, or Sita, in this case Sita, in that incarnation. She was being abused by Ravana, held captive. And so he's angry, and that anger is justified. Other example that is given, Krishna was angry in the beginning of the Gita when he was saying Krishna. Krishna's talking to Arjuna. Listen, you're fool number one. And he got very firm with him. So Krishna was angry. God's angry. He can get angry. Another time is with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got angry when Nityananda was abused, and a clay pot, the sharp edge of a terracotta piece was flung at his forehead, Nityananda's forehead, and blood came out. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard about it, and Mahaprabhu got very angry. Yeah. So again, when your anger is ego-based, it's a problem. It's going to bring on some karma. But when it's more soul-based, you're looking out for others, then it's justified anger. Okay, good. Anybody else? That looks like we all relate to anger very much. It's a popular one. That's demonstrated by all the hands that went up. Okay.
Sanjaya has his hands up.
Who's that?
Sanjaya Das.
Sanjaya, he's the one that spoke just now. He is the one that just spoke.
Okay, sorry. His hand. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. He's trying to give you a high five. That's all. Okay. Let's go to the next person. Can we get someone else to volunteer to read a Postunam? What are we looking at here? This is a good one. Okay, go ahead. That little section there.
Can I read, Maharaj?
Yeah, you got your coordinator. Go ahead.
Apaisunam means that one should not find fault with others or correct them unnecessarily. Of course, to call a thief is not fault finding, but to call an honest person a thief is very much offensive for one who is making advancement in spiritual life.
Thank you. That's great. Beautiful. I think everyone can relate to fault finding. It's a common term that we use in ISKCON amongst the devotees. We sometimes hear devotees say, be like a bee, don't be like a fly. A fly goes to where, if you got a wound or something like that, and pus is coming out, the fly is going to land on it and go, lekker, which in Dutch means delicious. Okay. And but a bee goes to the essence of a flower and takes out the pollen or the fragrant part, the essential part of the flower. So don't be one of those kind of people. So if somebody is actually making an honest effort to clean bad habits, we should actually give them a lot of honor. Slap on them, pat them on the back. Thank you, you're doing good, instead of being fault finding. When we started in Toronto, with Vrihat Mridanga Prabhu and Kalakanta's Mercy, the program of the Bhakti Academy, or what some people call Krishna House. One of the things that was very important to establish in the beginning is that senior devotees were not allowed to correct the newer people. That correcting was rested in the hands of those who were managing the program itself, Bhakti Academy. Otherwise, you're going to just new people will just flip out. And says, every time I make a turn, some seasoned devotee will come and tell me I'm doing this wrong and that wrong. And, newcomers can only take so much of that. So you have to be a little bit, sensitive about where people are coming from, and don't just try to correct. Spend more time on your own self, look in the mirror, so to speak. Any other comments? It's a good topic. It's fun. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, have many of you read about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes? There was somebody by the name of Ramachandra Puri. Oh, he was a nonsense. He just found fault with Mahaprabhu all the time, and it irritated everybody to no end. He was just a fault finder. So better to be a vault finder, and instead of a fault finder, vault finder if you are, and then slip into the crack, the vault, and may it close up on you. So, anyways, any remarks on fault finding? It's very detrimental to your spiritual life.
Go ahead, Anuttama Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I just want to mention that this is quite a common place in ISKCON where the senior devotee criticizes the junior devotee, and it's impacted me in a negative way, where I was trained to do Guru Puja, and once I did it at a program, I was criticized by a senior devotee who told somebody else, and who told me, so I never knew who it was. And ever since then, I've refused to do Guru Puja because I got criticized, and I said, okay, never again. So that was that.
Okay, well, if I can give you a little direction, don't quit so easy. No, maybe you get a little traumatized, but don't let that happen to you. I mean, maybe it's a lesson you learned. Whether you made a mistake or not, you don't want to be in that position where you're going to give somebody who's new at something a hard time. Yeah, but I would say don't quit. Give it another shot. See what happens. Yeah, well, it's true. We, if someone comes to the movement or under the care of someone, whether you're a mentor or something like that, that kind of person, it's understood. Let that person handle newcomers. Don't everybody jump in and declare, "I'm God. I know how to take care of everything." And this is very, very detrimental to your own spiritual development. The one who's trying to play God, and the new person who's trying to make some advancements. So, lead, follow, or get out of the way. That's what they say in the army. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. I think it's a good motto to follow. Okay, Sundamini, I see your hand is up. You're trying to do a high five. Yes. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. So,
No, we're not supposed to do that. We all offer obeisances in the beginning because it interrupts the flow of and it just, when everyone does it, so, and I'm definitely fault finding with you right now. Okay.
No, Maharaj, it's okay, Maharaj. Maharaj, fault finding on the other side, on the flip side of the coin, where sometimes it's actually people who are interested in our spiritual progress and well-being, sometimes can point out our mistakes or things that we can improve, right? It may look like they are criticizing us, but it could be for our benefit. How do we take it, and what should be our mindset there?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but where we're coming from is that when someone comes to the temple, say, just to give an example, and they're kind of new, there should be some people very expert in knowing how to handle folks who come through the door for the first time. Let's not assume that I know everything. There has to be a nice way to handle things. And, so someone in the area of service, particularly someone who's trained to help new people, a mature person should be in that situation. I hate to use the word neophytes sometimes, but neophytes shouldn't be there. And even sometimes seasoned devotees, mature devotees, they don't know how to direct or encourage people. They're a little bit too fundamentalist. Yeah, so I think it's better to be exercise caution in this area. And it's an art to know how to encourage people in Krishna consciousness, and people very easily get agitated these days on top of it. People are not willing to take instructions, so we do have to be a little bit careful. I've seen a lot of damage done in my years just when people impose themselves. I'm an authority here, I'm God, didn't you know, can't you tell? Again, it's ego-based. There is a nice, soft way of handling these kind of situations. Like, I feel bad for Anutama. I'm going to be a little sarcastic now. He was just blown away with his incident, and take it with a grain of salt. Let's move along and not take it too seriously. But if the people just pile up with their corrections, and it can be very let's say, very uncomfortable. So we have to handle everything with kid gloves, very careful with new folks when they come around. In general, I think that's the general rule. Anybody else want to say something on fault finding? I'm sure we have lots of experiences of any of you fault finding, and that tendency is very strong in all of us, those who've been around for a while. Well, I mean, we shouldn't be blind and have our eyes closed. We should be very, very, vigilantly observing things that are going on. If you see someone is slipping in their Krishna consciousness, it is a matter of trying to come forward and help out, but maybe you're not the best person to tell somebody, especially if they've been around for a bit. Try to pray and figure out which is the best angle, the best approach to take. What do you think, Prabhu?
Maharaj, I have a question. Isn't fault finding a test of one's humility and tolerance on the flip side?
Yes, of course, but I'm just talking about newcomers. We have to be really careful. That's how we come on, the tone of voice, just learn the art of being kind and gentle, and then people will take it very well, your correction. I think we can move on. Let's try to finish this paragraph for today. All right, the next particular trait. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, did I skip them? Did I miss on somebody?
Sanjay, did you speak?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, being in authority or being in administration is many times you find you have to find fault or sometimes even correct. And how do you go about doing that by not offending anyone?
Well, like same applies. be gentle about it. You might approach a person and offer some kind words in the beginning, say something positive, and then what seems to be negative can follow, and then finish with another positive. Just learn the art of being nice, We have to be really careful. Some of us come from places in the world where you're trained by British education, and people come on hard like a sledgehammer. That is, if you're a teacher or something like that. But in more recent times, people have developed the skill of knowing how to be just win the person over, how to make a friend out of them, and then they say, "Oh, you really do care about me because you handled me so nicely. You were so good about it. You gave me a lot of love, and you didn't come across like some big lorded over the monster." Okay.
Thank you.
So just remember, learn the art of how to be nice to people during all circumstances. Okay. Good. Let's move on to the next quality then. So that'll bring us. There's just one line there. Who can read that for us? Hari. Is that H-R-I? Hari. What's that?
Can I read, Prabhu? Maharaj.
By all means, you got one sentence.
Okay. Hari means that one should be very modest and must not perform some act which is abominable. Achapalam, determination, means that one
No. Sorry. We're just dealing with one quality at a time, okay? So this particular quality, which you just read about, is being modest, and we're not going to jump to the next one, okay? So thank you for reading it. Okay, this purport is very different from others. It's listing a lot of items, so we were treating it a little differently. Any comments on modesty? What does it mean to be modest?
Chaste.
Sankalpa?
Chaste. For the ladies, and sober maybe for the man.
Okay. Good. Great. Any other idea about modesty?
Simple living, high thinking, Maharaj.
Simple living, high thinking. Okay. Yeah.
Means not much or not too less.
Not too much and not too less. Okay. Good. I think there's slightly different understandings of what it means to be modest, but I think there's a big umbrella there. Somebody want to look it up on the dictionary? Modest? I put a question out there. I don't know if anybody heard me. What does it mean to be modest?
I'm looking in the dictionary.
I got it here. It means unassuming or moderate in the estimation of one's abilities or achievements.
Good. Could you read that again very slowly? Because
yes,
the thing really has to sink in. Yeah.
Unassuming or moderate in the estimation of one's abilities or achievements.
Okay. Right. That's beautiful. And you've got a second definition there, right?
I do, yeah. Relatively moderate, yes.
Limited or small, right?
Exactly.
It's very closely related to just being humble, right? Okay, that's good. I mean, you can write a book on some of these particular traits here, to be modest. Definitely, it's a good quality for a Vaishnav to bear, to be modest. Can we give some examples of what it means to be modest in a devotional setting, say like in a temple or amidst, Vaishnavas? Can we conjure up some examples?
Maharaj, I have an example, but it's something that you demonstrated once that has always inspired me, and I've shared it with so many devotees, but I don't know if that's okay. Is it okay if I share
Well, I
something you
guess you
did?
can.
Okay. Sorry, I know you get a little bashful, but so this one time we were back in 2000, somewhere between 2009, 2011, we were doing a big production. I believe it was Krishna the Eighth Boy or something, and it was a huge cast, like just a huge cast, and we were going and rehearsing at Toronto Temple until midnight, several nights, sometimes 1 a.m, and this was kind of our last rehearsal before the big show the next day. And we had arranged, that the devotees in the play, I think there was like 20 some odd of us, were going to go and take dinner in Govinda's on our dinner break around somewhere around 7 or 8 p.m. And so it was time for the break, and I went to Maharaj and I said, "Can I grab you something?" He says, "Sure." And so I went, and there was nothing there. There was just this tiny little bit of rice and like a couple of, like maybe 2 tablespoons of dal, and I put it on this plate, and I said, "Maharaj, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that this is all there was." And Maharaj, like, kind of the anger, kind of, you could see the fire in his eyes, a little bit, and he said, that there's nothing for the devotees? The devotees have nothing? And I said, "No, Maharaj, I'm so sorry." He's like, "There's no prasadam for the devotees?" And I said, "No, Maharaj." And he stormed out. And I thought, a lot of people in that situation, especially, I don't want to say a lot, but some people in that situation might go and chastise whomever didn't cook enough prasadam. And, you would just assume that that's what's happening. So I went to try and find Maharaj, and there he was in the kitchen with an apron on, cooking a meal for 20 people. And I thought, oh my God, this is what a Vaishnav does. And I ran upstairs and I said, "Everybody, Maharaj is cooking in the kitchen." And so we all came down and put on aprons, and we all cooked the feast together. And it was just such a wonderful moment where, so many situations, someone in a position of power could just, heavy someone else out for it. But Maharaj was humble and led by example and showed us what being a Vaishnav means.
Well,
Haribol.
thank you.
Haribol.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Example.
If that's an example of modesty, I don't even remember the incident, to be honest with you. Okay, thank you so much. I hope that helps some people understand what it means to be modest. Let us go for the next one, Achapalam, and we'll try to finish this paragraph. Somebody ready to read it?
Yes.
Without a obeisance.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
Achapalam, determination, means that one should not be agitated or frustrated in some attempt. There may be failure in some attempt, but one should not be sorry for that. He should make progress with patience and determination.
Nice. When I think of determination, I usually think about a Kshatriya. I just think about one of the qualities of what's listed in chapter 18, text 43, about a Kshatriya being very determined, like Arjuna being very determined to bring down Jayadratha, like which we read about in the Mahabharata or something like that. Being very focused, very fixed, and just get on with duty, what has to be done. Just continue and know what is your job, what is your service, your responsibility, and go for it. And don't let emotions kind of stand in the way. Let there not be hurdles. Do what needs to be done. Be very focused. That's right. A lot of people kind of like check out here, and they get frustrated easily if there's a little bit of a, let's say, obstruction course. Don't let that bother you. Just plow through and get done what needs to be done. Yeah. I go, whenever I go to Trinidad, the devotees take us to the beach, and we all have a beach party with the devotees, which is much needed sometimes. Devotees need to chill out as a group. And so there's this amazing beach where the waves tend to get a little bit big. And, there's a way to kind of like cut through those waves, instead of being, taken by, whisked away by them, but rather, you kind of penetrate. There's a way you force your way through. I use my elbow sometime, and then you don't get swept away. But, so that term determination is very, very important. For those who don't use focus or determination, we have an English word there. It's called you're a flake, you're a cornflake. So you don't be flaky. You don't want that particular trait to be added to your personality. Right. So let's be very focused and be very determined, like Prabhupada was, right? I think he's the best example of that. Could somebody just help us to understand what time we're on right now?
Almost 6.
Almost 6 o'clock. So maybe it's a good time. Like we went through Akroda, we went to Aposhanam, we went through Ari, Achampalam. There's 4 different qualities there. Can you, Prabhus, just look at them, choose one, and maybe make a commitment and tell us, I'm going to work at this particular quality a little bit. I need to work. We need to work on them all naturally, but maybe it's one you really want to zero in on, if that's okay. So if we can get a nice, very quick, let's say, response from everybody on this one. No long sentences, just no essays, no book reports, nothing like that. Just tell us a little bit which is the one you might like to choose, your favorite one that to help yourself on. Okay, good. So I'll ask Vaishnavi, please just go through the.
All right, Anuttama Prabhu.
Aversion to fault finding.
Okay, Anantasesh, and keep your mics muted, please. Anantasesh Prabhu.
Determination along with the enthusiasm, utsaha, would be very beneficial in our spiritual progress.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Arjuna.
Try to control your anger for Krishna unless it's necessary.
Nice.
Charles, are you still here? Okay. Guy Gaurav Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of any living entity.
Okay, I'm sorry, I kind of missed it. What was particular trait we were talking about?
Ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of any living entity.
Oh, ahimsa, you're going back to ahimsa.
Ahimsa.
Is that right?
Ahimsa.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, he did say ahimsa.
Okay, well, yeah, well, I'm just talking about the particular qualities that we dealt with today. There's 4 of them. Okay, you can give us some thought. We start with a karoda, and we finished with a chapalam. If you could think about that, we can come back to you. Yeah.
Angry control.
Okay, work on anger. Okay, great.
Ottawa is gone. Devotees from Oslo. Are you still here or gone? Okay. Mokshalila.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I will try to work on anger. I'm working since few years. I'm still working and I will continue working on it.
That's honesty. That's great. Yeah, good. Yeah, you got to keep working at a project. Some projects are short-lived. You reach a result very quickly, but some are a little more tough to handle, and so it can be a lifelong experience. As long as you're working at it, that's the main thing.
Nitai Priya.
I think both I need to work on equally, but I'll say that I was really moved by understanding the difference between ego-based anger and spiritual anger. And I'd like to meditate on that more.
Nice, nice.
Sandamini.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I'm still working on my fault finding attitude, so I should improve on that more.
Oh, nice. Bravo.
Sanjay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, being in management, I think I will be working on this fault finding and the tendency for correct others. Hare Krishna, or how to correct others in a very sensitive, caring, kind way.
Yes, yeah, I like that word, sensitive way. Yeah.
Sankalpa.
Okay.
If we find fault with others, we cannot chant purely.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, that's very good. Very good.
Uday.
Love
it. For me, it's fault finding. Yeah, just because I want to help people, but the ability or the inability to find good.
So Uday, you want to do some more fault finding? Is that what you were saying?
No. I have to work on it so that I can help people seamlessly.
Okay, great.
Vasanta.
Hare Krishna, it's Achapalam for me, because I think if I'd have absolute unshakable faith in Bhagavan, then I won't feel disheartened about failure. Or
Nice, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
There's somebody by name iPhone. I don't know who it is. So
who we left out? Who's left to say something?
Someone by name iPhone. So anyway.
iPhone, Mr. iPhone, can you please reveal yourself? Okay, then. So I think this. I'm sorry.
No, I'm here. For me, it would be working on my anger issues.
Anger issues. Okay, great.
Krishna Maharaj, for me, it is working on Achapalam on Saturday, Sunday. I find very difficult to get up in the morning to chant on the weekends.
Is that right? Well, yeah, I would say that probably on the weekends for working people, it's okay to have that little extra rest, but do make reserved time for getting the japa done, right?
Yeah.
I would just say don't be too hard on yourself. Rest is very important in order to ensure good health. But make sure you set aside enough time to get the japa done. Yeah. Find a nice long trail where you can get the japa done. Good. So I hope that some of these terminologies are now better understood. I think this was a nice group. This call it the four Kumars, if you will. These 4 particular traits, and we're getting a little more familiar with the language. The Chapalam. We probably before today you didn't know what Hari meant, or Aposhanam, or a Kuroda. Probably that's the one that does resonate. We've heard about Kuroda many times. So when we get together next week, let's see, I'll be back at the usual time zone with you all over there. And we'll be back on track. So like it's 3:30 in the morning for me here. But I miss your association. That's why I cut it into my sleeping time, just to be with you all. Thank you all very much. It's good to see your faces.
So sweet.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Vachakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jai
Please rest.
Krishna Krishna Bhut Krishna.
Please rest.
Bhaktimarga Swami iti namine.
Try.
Please rest. Please rest.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. All glories to
Krishna.
y'all. Haribol. Thank you, Vaishnavi, for bringing
Thank
us
you.
together.
Thank you, Maharaj, for bringing us